Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you watch this. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So, I feel like I need to say this right off the flip. Folks, last night's video, I clearly stated at the beginning of the video, these are not my videos. And just because I'm showing them doesn't mean I agree with them. I'm trying to show you the amount of confusion and chaos around the death and assassination of Charlie Kirk, whom I truly looked up to. I've been watching Charlie Kirk for, I don't know, about 10 years now. He was one of the few conservative podcasters that truly aligned with my morals and my beliefs. And that is hard to find in this day and age. I never heard him lose his temper. I never heard him cuss. He supported Israel, loved Jesus. I mean, that was good enough for me, right? You can't find that in a podcaster any longer. You either have to put up with them sounding like they have a potty mouth, or you have to put up with their weird ideas about Israel, or, you know, they're not real Christians. So let me just make that clear. The entire point of last night's video was to show you how everybody thinks they know something new about the assassination. I want to read something to you guys because this is very important. All right, this comes from the Bible. Go figure, right? Matthew 24. And it says here, sorry guys, let me get to it. He said, they were talking about being deceived. God says, and Jesus answered and said to them, take heed that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. And you will hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. And all of these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you. And you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by the Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, he is talking about the Antichrist in the temple in Jerusalem. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his house. He goes on and on and on. And he says, it just basically what he's saying is you see in part, but you will eventually see it all. Okay. Guys, what I have to share with you today is going to upset some of you. I know it is. Like, I already know. I've done this for so long. And I know when I do videos like I did last night that people are going to misunderstand. One, because of this television. What does television actually mean? Me and my husband did this last night. Tell a vision. Television. To tell a vision. Okay. Entertainment. To enter and be contained. Entertainment. Controller. To control the person holding it. Controller, or better yet, remote control. Now, when you understand, when that sinks in and hits you somewhere, and you just went, wait, what did she just say? You'll understand this video. Now, this whole video, I want to make a point that you and I are not like these people. You and I are raised in low, middle, or upper families. We go to school, we get married, we have children, we build businesses, we start careers. Can I get an amen? Well, you and I don't plan our children's future from before conception, right? We're not like our child has to go to this school and has to be this and they have to go into this business. We don't do that. All right. That's not how we behave. So it is hard for people like you and I to understand sometimes the connections that are found amongst the elites, even the ones that we consider like us, the ones that we bond with through the television or the computer, right? This screen sometimes makes us feel like we really know somebody. But these people weren't like us. They have never had the problems that you and I face. They've never not had enough money. They've never really had no connections. They always know somebody who knows somebody who can get them through the front door of the White House. That's the point I want to make to you. I mean, you look back, Tucker Carlson's father was CIA. Nick Fuentes, his daddy, CIA. Go back and tell me how a nobody Candace Owens, because she's supposedly a nobody that rose to fame, but within the first couple of weeks of working in these high dollar leftist magazines, she's being retweeted by people like Kanye West. You guys, that's not truthful. That's not real life. You and I don't get retweeted by people who are in the upper echelon because we are nobody to them. They have people that they run in groups with, all of them. Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, Laura Loomer, Tucker Carlson, they're all friends. Even if they're bickering on screen, that is a tight-knit group. Much like politicians, I have always said this. You'll see the Democrat Party, the politicians, calling for the blood of a United States president, but then marry their children to that president's children? Really? Really? It's like a soap opera. You know what? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? We're looking out and into a glass room where everybody in it has a job and they have a role to play in somebody else's screenplay. You and I are just watching it. And yes, it's very confusing. My husband asked me last night, we sat down and watched Snake Eyes. We did. Terrible movie, but we watched it. He's like, I just don't see any connections from this to Charlie Kirk's assassination. I said, well, it's a reach. It's a reach. It's the date. It's the name of the actor and, the people in the movie. It's the theme of the movie. And he said, but if this was put out in 1998, Charlie Kirk was assassinated in 2025. Sam, how does this make any sense? And I said, well, it goes back to that the Illuminati lay breadcrumbs. They lay breadcrumbs, right? They put things into motion. They have the long game, friends. You and I, we live 85 years if we are blessed. These people have been living for hundreds of years. No, I don't mean them actually. Their plans have been laid out, written down, and is being pushed through every generation. So this person dies, but this person's been trained up to take their place. And that's what they do. Now, I'm going to tell you some things that I have found out about Erica Kirk. Feel free to turn the video off now if you do not want to be enlightened and you don't want to know what I'm seeing and what's bothering me. I loved Charlie Kirk. I feel like they assassinated him to get their hands on something that he built. But I do need you to understand that he didn't build it from nothing. Okay. I do really need you to understand that even Charlie Kirk had connections and had inroads in places that your children and mine would not naturally have. Once you understand that, it does help you understand a little better how Erica was placed, I believe, placed into his life. Um, Charlie Kirk's father, Robert W. Kirk, was an architect. He was very important in the design and the building of Trump Towers in New York City. Yes, you heard me. And even though that is a thin thread, it is a thread that you and I do not have. We simply don't have it. We don't have anybody that's ever stood in the same room with Donald Trump and discussed architectural plans. But Charlie Kirk's dad did. Now I'm going to show you some things about Erica. I don't get paid for this, friends and family, at all. YouTube has not paid me in almost 7 months. Now, if you'd like to support our channel, my husband is very sick and is going to be going into surgery here in a few months. But I do this because I think it's the right thing to do, because I think everything should be looked at. I don't discuss a lot about how Charlie Kirk died or any of that, because none of that to me is provable. With AI, every video could have been changed by now, things erased, things added. No, I don't believe there was a hologram involved, but I wanted to show y'all the true chaos that is going on behind his assassination. What I can prove are the backgrounds of these people. So everybody knows, because I brought this to you guys, about Jezebel, the magazine putting the hexes out on Charlie Kirk. A lot of Christians got mad at me. Oh, no. But listen to how Charlie and his wife, Erica, dealt with those hexes.
Erica and Charlie Kirk heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. She knew Christian teaching on the subject. She loved Charlie, absolutely. And she was scared when she heard of the curses Jezebel had called up. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend, who I believe she said was a Catholic priest, but definitely a friend, and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered.
Now, I find that weird. Not weird because they called a priest because there were hexes put against him. Did you guys know that Erica is no longer Catholic? I've not heard anybody discuss this. Erica Kirk was raised Catholic, but left the church due to doubts about confession and mediators. She is currently an evangelical Christian. Erica Kirk is a Catholic. She knows what she was doing. These people are no different than Islam when it comes to their ideology about Jews and Israel. There's the most concerning comment that I saw, because she's a Jesuit. Erica is a Jesuit. Now, like it or not, you can stay for the information or you can get mad at me. I am starting to believe that Erica was handpicked for Charlie. He was a brilliant young boy. Y'all know he wasn't popular. Come on. I taught school. I know which kids are popular and which ones are going to get it from day in to day out. Charlie Kirk was brilliant. He looked a little geeky. He was adorable. And you can bet your bottom dollar he got it left and right through high school. I'm sure he had a group of people that liked him, but he still got flack. He's also a man. And we know how God made men. They're very visual. So here is this beautiful doll, and we're going to get into her history. But Erica Kirk, her mother worked in defense. Her father worked in defense. Her father helped put up the Iron Dome over Israel. She had a nonprofit at 17. We're going to get into all of that. But I feel like She was handpicked to manipulate him. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't care what anybody says. She is a Roman Catholic pretending to be an evangelical. She went to Notre Dame Catholic prep school and then to a Jesuit Regis University. Okay. She attended a Jesuit university, Regis University, located in Denver, Colorado. Guess who else attended a Jesuit university? President Trump. Erika was also recruited unexpectedly into modeling one day, receiving an invitation to participate in pageants. What was her first pageant, you guys? The Donald Trump owned Miss USA pageant, where she won Miss Arizona in 2012. It's rather ironic, but just know nothing is by mistake. Nothing is by coincidence. That was in one of her speeches. Erica Kirk herself said, just know nothing is by mistake. Nothing is by coincidence. No, I agree with her. It is all deliberate and calculated. It is all pre-planned and passed down. Now, I don't agree with everything this video says, but I think it's interesting.
Road to the crown. The corona. Erika was crowned from Erica Kirk about Erika's road to the crown. The corona. Erika was crowned Miss Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. The Phoenix is rising.
I have played basketball since I was 5. Super tomboy.
Not just a tomboy, a super tomboy.
In college, I played for the NCAA division.
Like I said, I really don't agree with that.
I didn't want it combed, and so we ended up cutting it like bam bam, just like straight across, full haircut.
I thought girls kind of were into like combing their hair, at least. Is that a boy or a girl? See, you could kind of go either way on that one, huh? Somewhat androgynous, one might say. So Erika has already told us that people thought she was a boy.
Even when we went to the grocery store, the people would be like, hey, Sonny, you gonna take those groceries out for your mom? And I was like, yes.
All right, it was the necklace I wanted y'all to see. And they are right. That necklace is part of Masonic. The one she wears all the time, that's a Masonic. Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't like this any more than y'all, but it gets worse, all right? A lot of people were tying Erica Kirk into the late Kim Clement's prophecy. I even showed it to you guys. You know, the big eyes, she'll be anointed with oil and the woman will rise. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I did it good, huh? I did good. This is what bothers me. A historic compass navigating life's journeys with Gnostic insights. Erica Kirk embodying the divine feminine for America's future. Something feels so wrong about what happened to Charlie. Like, we all feel it. We all feel it. Right now, you feel it. You know that he was murdered in cold blood in front of the entire world, and then he was mocked for his love for Jesus, for his love for Israel. And what rose up behind him doesn't feel right. I can't put my finger on it. She doesn't feel right. There's something in me that is telling me they had to remove Charlie Kirk because there are certain things that he would not budge on. He would not budge on. And I think that they needed her because she'll do whatever they want for them. She will do whatever they tell her. It'll be a slow changing, but turning point will never be the same. Mark my words. The problem is so many people never watched Charlie Kirk before, so you're not going to pick up on the difference and the nuances. Your spirit's not going to go when you see them, because you didn't watch Charlie Kirk before his assassination, which is what they're banking on. Okay. Erica Kirk, embodying the divine feminine for America's future. Erica Kirk stands as a singular force in both America and the world right now, a beacon of divine feminine power rising from the unimaginable loss, channeling grace, resilience, and a faith that is unbreakable as it is inspiring. Losing her husband in what can only be called a spiritual battle, Erica's response is not to recoil, but to boldly step forward, anchoring herself in her beliefs and the legacy that is now hers to steward. The true miracle of Erica Kirk's journey is in her embrace of the divine feminine, a force able to create and nurture and guide a people through the darkest valleys, shaping the future in honor of justice, faith, and harmony. Erica's presence tells us a new story, one where power is found in vulnerability and grace in persistence. She does not lead by denomination, but by invitation. Let me one more time. She does not lead by denomination, but by invitation. As Erica Kirk steps forward in public life, she is more than the inheritor of a movement. She is now its heart. That should scare the crap out of you, friends and family. She has been put in this place because you know what? She had public life before her husband. She had her own nonprofit at 17. All right. And yes, the video yesterday saying that her nonprofit was looked into for, missing children, that actually is not really correct. So, but let's keep going. She won Miss Arizona in 2012. She crossed paths with Charlie Kirk in 2018. They married in 2021. Erica was associated with evangelical work. She was raised Catholic. She's a Jesuit. Her actual resume is already eyebrow raising. She founded Everyday Heroes Like You, a nonprofit, as well as Bible in 365 Days, a daily devotional app. She launched Proclaim, a faith-based clothing brand. She hosted podcasts, headlined Christians' women's conferences, and curated her Instagram with a mix of Bible verses and published lifestyle branding. She was never going to be a background wife. This is a woman with a portfolio where she has been an entrepreneur, she has been an actress, she has been a spokesperson. How long did we think she was going to stay in the spotlight? How convenient. How convenient that Charlie Kirk's wife was exactly what Turning Point needed. I'm so very concerned.
To build such a huge empire. Turning Point USA has over 3,500 chapters. It has over 1,000 employees, over an 80 million annual budget. Do you all understand how huge of a juggernaut that is? And Charlie Kirk, it's not like he was managing all these people. That's virtually impossible, right? He was the person, he was a star, he was the person that ran the show. Not to mention that they've also made it clear here. Albert Pike has also said, whenever the people need a hero, we shall supply him, right? What have we been calling that? The Hegelian dialectic. We're going to create the problem so we can give you the solution. Charlie Kirk was being used as a front to do a few things, in my opinion. He was being used to sort of almost blur the lines between quote unquote Christianity or being a follower of Jesus Christ, while also accepting those that are not followers of Jesus Christ.
He gets this part wrong. You can go watch that if you want. I just wanted to show you what this is. Whenever the people need a hero, we shall supply him. I saw so many symbols on Erica Kirk that were Jesuit, were Mason. Okay. Now let me get this straight. Right now, the two most powerful women on the conservative party, on the conservative side in the conservative party, Erica Kirk and Candace Owens, both of them are Jesuit Eastern Stars. Their families have ties into the Masons, but they're polar opposites. Listen to what I got to say about this. This is interesting. Candace Owens is Black. She was once a liberal. She was once a Protestant. Now she's a conservative. She's a Catholic, and she's anti-Jew. Then you've got her opposite, right? You've got Candace, this side. Now come over to this side and look at Erika, raised Catholic Jesuit, right? Which means she was anti-Jew, to I love the Jews and I'm a Protestant and I'm white. They're polar opposites, but the two most powerful women in the conservative party. And they're both double-minded in everything they do.
North Star, and we will continue that. Yeah. And it'll be done tastefully, it will be done appropriately, and I'm excited.
Let me go back just a hair.
Beautiful in this world, and also, yes, the youth, he used that as the North Star, and we will continue that. Yeah. And it'll be done tastefully, it will be done appropriately, and I'm excited for all of it, because we have a good team.
You have every right to be.
We have
After
a good
everything
team.
that you've been through, what the team has been through, to see it's like I keep saying, Charlie's almost sprinkling his little Charlie Kirk magic dust on everything, and I mean that in a very Christian sense. That Charlie lived such a remarkable life, and his mission was so big that in death you cannot contain it. It unleashes something even greater, and it's on us. Mm-hmm. And Charlie would look at us and expect us to do the right things here. And I would say, look at the memorial.
I know.
The memorial is the proof point that the team that Charlie put together can do the impossible, and God's blessing was on that. So there were so many prayers, and I know you feel the prayers, because I feel them. If I feel them, you must be feeling them like 100x.
I feel them. All of them matter, and we will never be silenced. Amen. We will never be silenced. Amen. And that's why continuing his platform in a beautiful, honorable way will reinforce that we will never be silenced.
Well, let's take a quick break. I'm not going to promise that she's still going to be here, but maybe she will be.
I'll have all this in description. You can go take a look at it. I had to get up and share this because I realized that so many people did not respect me enough to hear me out in last night's video. And that is so hurtful that people will get on and watch a few minutes and then get just what the Bible says you're going to do. You get offended and you stop. Or you watch somebody else's video and you hold that against me. That is not how adults behave. It's hurtful. And I always tell Leslie and Kelly, I'm thankful when those people leave my channel, because they take up the majority of my energy. And other people who really want to know what I'm talking about, you guys deserve my energy, not the naysayers. So we can all agree on that. Listen up. Candace Owens is controlled opposition. All right. She's the opposite. She's the polar opposite of Erica Kirk. But they are both Jesuits. All right. What did Candace Owens say? I was going to swoop, that's my energy, and I'm swooping down as a dragon, and I'm going to burn everybody. And I'm waiting on this signal from who? From Erika. But she stopped me. We lost so much in Charlie Kirk. And now I see they could never turning point into this foul, half watered down joke while he was alive. Told you guys. I don't think Israel's got anything to do with this. I don't even really feel like the left has anything to do with this. I think Charlie Kirk was removed because what is coming, and they needed turning point. The fascist, whoever, whichever side the aisle they are, they're not really liberal. They're not really conservative. They're globalists. They have a global agenda. Those people needed turning point, and Charlie Kirk fathered it. He protected it. Just trust me when I tell you, watch it over the next 10 to 15 years and watch how it's slow, so slow. You won't see it at first. How it begins to turn into something he never intended it to be. If we make it that long. Did you guys see all these people all over? Well, how are they saying it? Joshua is still right about Jesus coming back between September 23rd and 24th, and the Black African preacher that said it now took it back and said it's going to be October. Friends and family, please stop. There's not going to be 3 days of darkness. Jesus is not coming back anytime soon. We still have work to do. Quit waiting on Jesus to come back and save you. Get into the fight with us. By the way, if you'd like to support our channel, look in the top of comments. I love you guys. I gotta go.